Hi YouTubers. Yeah, I'm very sad for what's happening in Paris. Yeah, and my thought and prayers are for those who suffered in Paris. And I'm a bit afraid what's going to happen in Denmark every time these stuff happen. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. I thought I wanted to talk about racism, but don't turn off, because it's not boring, okay? It's actually fun. It's actually embarrassing. My parents, my father was from Denmark, and oh, sorry, my mother was Japanese, and my father was actually half German and half Danish, but doesn't matter. I lived in Japan at the time, and there was not many black people there, and my parents called black people for monkeys, and because of that I actually thought they were monkeys with clothes on. I just thought they were very smart monkeys. You know, they could. I saw them in television, I saw them on, not many, but I saw them on the street. I thought, hey, smart monkeys. They probably eat bananas. So I was that ignorant, stupid, okay? But it was the time I also thought that people from television and radio, they were like this because my sister told me they were small. So yeah, that was state of mind I was in at the time. I think I was 4 or 5 years when I began to understand what my parents were saying. My father was a chief steward, so we sailed a lot. And we used to sail, you know, from Asia to Arabia, around the Suez, South Europe, and then to America. But there was something with the Gaddafi guy. He put mines in Suez Canal, so we had to sail the other way around. So we came from Asia, and then Saudi Arabia, and then when you say there comes a boat, and around 12 people come up, and some of them have to check whether you have alcohol and cigarettes and so on the ship, because they have to lock it down, and that's my father's job. And some of them go up to the top Monkey, it's called Monkey Island. Oh my freaking god. Anyway, they go to the top to help the captain to stare into the harbor. Anyway, it was the first time I saw black people in front of me, you know. And I thought, wow, smart monkeys. They also speak English. I spoke English at the time. And they had machine guns. It's very common in many countries, so I wasn't afraid or anything. But I began to, it was the first time, and I think there was 6 or 7 people, and they had military clothes on, and I was used to that as well, and I began to do this. You know why? I just wanted to be sweet. I thought I was being cute. I can show you. I found this footage. Do you know this one? Sorry for the bad thing. Do you know it? Yeah. I had this one. Exactly this one. I love this doll. And I actually thought, yeah, they would think I was cute because I was doing like them, because I thought they were monkeys, because my parents always called black people monkeys. Suddenly, these men took their gun and pointed at me and the other persons who were in the room with my father and my mom. And I just, you know, I couldn't understand. I didn't understand it was me or anything. How should I know? I didn't understand anything. I just could see in my mother that okay? Anyway, I figured out that everything was all right because they shook their hands, and you know, they all the men came and petted on my head, and some of them gave me coins. I was used to be treated well because I was one of the only kids. Because in a Maersk boat you can only have 2 families at the time. It's very rare there are kids on the boat. It's actually quite boring. Anyway, my parents needed to talk to me because next stop was Cape Town, and they told me that I could never ever do it, and then they told me that they are sorry because that African people, as they were called, I didn't know that they were not monkeys but human beings just like us, and my parents said sorry. And I remember they never ever called black people for monkeys after that incident. And I was scared because I never had a gun pointed at me. One more time when we were in Saudi Arabia, that's a whole another story. But my mother threw my monkey out. So I guess it's still between Madagascar and Africa in the bottom of the sea. If someone see a monkey, it's mine, okay? It's mine. I want it back, okay? Please. Anyway, I was shocked, but I don't think I understood what you know, what happened, and but I did understand that Africans, black people, want monkeys anymore. They were human beings, just like yeah. They told me that, hey, my father is white, blue eyes, you know, and the sailors was also, you know, blue eyes, and yeah. But anyway, then, yeah, horrible incident. Anyway, I was teased a lot because I was, you know, red hair, and not red, totally red, but not black colored hair like Japanese. And my eyes are bigger than Japanese girls, and yeah, I was called a Danish bacon, oink oink, Viking, they don't go to bath, blah blah blah. And when I asked my mom why they did it, because I was very sad, I cried, yeah. Anyway, she just said, oh, it's because your father is, you know. Then my father didn't want to live in Japan anymore. He really disliked it. He didn't want to learn the language and so on. And there were some issues because I couldn't get Japanese passport at the time because my father was Danish. My sisters, they have another father. They have a Japanese father. Yeah. Anyway, my mother told us that we were moving to Denmark, and I was sad because my friends, I just couldn't understand why. And my oldest sister, my favorite one, the only one I could talk to, she stayed in Japan. She was in love, and she was 17, and my mother couldn't do so much about it. She had her father, but my other sister and I, we never been friends, still aren't friends. And I were going to Denmark. My mother told me that Denmark was the country where people were like me, Danish. So in my little stupid head, I thought that they looked like me, you know, hair color, skin color, eyes, and yeah. Anyway, we came to Copenhagen airport. I see all these white people, but I've been to airports, so I didn't think so much about it. And we came to town, and I had to start school. And we went to the town, and I saw white people. And I couldn't recognize the one from the another, other than red hair, black hair, white hair. You know, that I couldn't see the difference. Okay, and people look. You know, in the 80s there weren't so many colored people, and I lived in a very small town. There were only 2 freaking colored kids in that school. A boy called John, he was from India, and me. and I was teased. Rice eater, Toyota, Ching Chong Chang, and Ni Hao. It's actually good day in Chinese, not Japanese, but oh my god. Oh, here we go again. And I asked my mother, what the hell? You told me that it was a country like me, but she said, no. I said, Danish like you, passport, not skin color like you. So yeah, I was very disappointed. And I began to understand racism in a whole another level, because they wouldn't play with me, and I also had language barrier because I couldn't speak Danish at the time. I was lucky I could speak English, so I could speak with the teachers, but the kids couldn't speak English, so it took me 4 years to learn Danish. I had the tutor, and yeah. Anyway, they bullied me every day, you know, throwing rocks at me, spit at me, and go home to your own country. And they thought I came from a poor country and took money from Denmark, you know. Actually, my parents were rich. It doesn't matter because I'm dang poor today. But anyway, yeah, I was teased a lot. But the funny thing is that when I became, I think I was 12, my period came. Yep. I believe that Asian girls, they develop earlier than white girls. I'm not sure, but I think so because I've seen it with other family members. And I got boobs when I was 12, and they were bigger when I was 13, and then the teasing suddenly stopped. Then all the boys were suddenly nice to me, and yeah, it was really, I remember 3rd grade in Denmark. I think it's different age than other, you know, because in Denmark we start really slow, late, I mean, and I loved the summer holiday because I could be with the friends I loved and cared for. And at the time I have learned to speak Danish, but it was hell to go to school because I was teased. And I developed over the summer. I got boobs and so and then I came to school 4th grade, and suddenly the teasing stopped. You know, I couldn't understand it. What the fuck? What? And I had a girlfriend. She was 1 grade more up than me. She was from Scotland, and she told me, "Don't you know why they stopped teasing you?" No, my new haircut, because I had long hair and I cut it short, so I thought it must have been that or something. I just didn't get it, you know. It's because you got tits, and you know, 13 years tits, it's nothing. So yeah, so from one day to another, the teasing stopped. It was the racism that and it was pure racism, and some of them was teasing, but you know, many of them had Six Heil, and it was horrible time. But yeah, it stopped from one day to the other, and unfortunately I became not so nice and used the power I gained from having tits. Oh my god, I was a horrible kid. Hi viewers, thank you for watching, and please leave a comment, and you're also welcome to send me an email. If you want a quick response, please write to the first email written, because I'm very bad at Gmail. Yeah. Anyway, and you are welcome to subscribe. I'll be very, very happy, and also like, okay? So have a nice day, and peace and love. Bye bye.